Welcome back to Hidden Wisdom Academy Biology. Today, we're exploring the anatomy of leaf, one of the most visually fascinating topics in plant anatomy. In this lecture, we'll learn how a dicot leaf like sunflower differs from a monocot leaf like maize. By the end of this session, you'll be able to clearly identify and compare dicot and monocot leaves, both for solving questions and lab practicals. So, let's get started and unfold the anatomy hidden inside a leaf. As always, in this slide you can see the syllabus and PYQ topics with their years, so you know what to expect in your exams. Now, let's talk about dicot leaf structure. Let's take the example of a sunflower leaf. The upper epidermis is a single layer of cells with a cuticle that prevents water loss. Below it is the mesophyll, made of two layers, the palisade parenchyma with many chloroplasts for photosynthesis, and the spongy parenchyma with large air spaces for gas exchange. The vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral, and closed. Xylem is on the upper side, and phloem is on the lower side. The lower epidermis has many stomata that help in gas exchange and transpiration. All these parts work together to make the dicot leaf efficient for photosynthesis and respiration. Now, let's talk about monocot leaf structure. Let's take the example of maize. The upper epidermis is a single layer with a cuticle, and stomata are present on both upper and lower surfaces. The mesophyll is undifferentiated, with chloroplasts spread throughout, no separate palisade or spongy layer. The vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral, and closed, surrounded by a sclerenchymatous sheath for support. The lower epidermis is similar to the upper, also with stomata. This structure helps monocot leaves handle high sunlight and allows efficient gas exchange on both sides. Let's understand the leaf structures with their functions and differences. In dicot leaves, stomata are mostly on the lower surface, while in monocot leaves, stomata are on both surfaces for efficient gas exchange. The mesophyll in dicots has two layers, palisade for photosynthesis and spongy for gas exchange. In monocots, the mesophyll is undifferentiated. Vascular bundles are conjoint and collateral in both, but monocots have a strong sclerenchymatous sheath. In dicots, xylem is on top and phloem below. These structures help leaves carry out photosynthesis, transpiration, and transport of water and nutrients efficiently. Let's look at practical observations of dicot and monocot leaves. In dicot leaves, the upper epidermis is a single layer with cuticle. Below it, the palisade parenchyma has many chloroplasts for photosynthesis, and the spongy parenchyma has air spaces. Vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral, and closed, with xylem on top and phloem below. The lower epidermis has stomata for gas exchange. In monocot leaves, the epidermis is on both surfaces with stomata, the mesophyll is undifferentiated, and vascular bundles are conjoint and collateral with a supporting bundle sheath. Under the microscope, focus on vascular bundle arrangement, mesophyll layers, and stomata to identify dicot and monocot leaves easily. Let's practice few questions to test your knowledge. Which of the following statements about dicot and monocot leaves is correct? This is a PYQ from NEET 2023. Option A: dicot leaves have stomata on both surfaces, monocot leaves mostly on the lower surface. Option B: dicot leaves have palisade and spongy mesophyll, monocot leaves have undifferentiated mesophyll. Option C: vascular bundles in dicot leaves are surrounded by bundle sheath, monocot leaves do not have bundle sheath. Option D: mesophyll in dicot leaves is undifferentiated, in monocots palisade and spongy. Explanation. Let's go step by step. Option A is wrong because dicot leaves mostly have stomata only on the lower surface, not on both. Option B is correct, dicot leaves are dorsiventral with two mesophyll layers, palisade and spongy parenchyma, while monocot leaves have undifferentiated mesophyll. Option C is wrong because only monocot leaves have a bundle sheath around vascular bundles. And option D is also wrong because dicot leaves have differentiated mesophyll, not undifferentiated like in monocots. So, option B is the correct answer, that is, dicot leaves have palisade and spongy mesophyll, monocot leaves have undifferentiated mesophyll. Now, let's move to question 2. Explain the transverse section of a monocot leaf given below. 1. Upper epidermis. 2. Mesophyll. 3. Vascular bundle. 4. Lower epidermis. Explanation. The upper epidermis forms a protective layer covered with a cuticle and may have stomata. The mesophyll is an undifferentiated layer containing chloroplasts for photosynthesis. The vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral, and closed, often surrounded by a bundle sheath for support. The lower epidermis is also protective and has stomata on both surfaces, making it amphistomatic. Let's quickly look at some common mistakes in leaf anatomy. First, don't mix up dicot and monocot leaves, their structure is different. Second, only dicot leaves have palisade and spongy mesophyll, monocots don't. Third, the bundle sheath is seen in monocot leaves, not dicots. Fourth, monocot leaves have stomata on both sides. And finally, when drawing the leaf section, always label from the upper epidermis to the lower epidermis in the right order. That's all for this lecture on the anatomy of leaf. Now you know how dicot and monocot leaves differ, how their stomata are arranged, and how the mesophyll helps in photosynthesis. In the next lecture, we'll learn about the anatomy of flower, its structure, comparison between dicot and monocot flowers, and how questions are asked in exams. Don't forget to check out our daily NEET MCQs and PYQ series and biology podcast for quick revision. See you in the next lecture.